Oh, baby, and we are back, everybody. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I am your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Support us online at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. We're going to hop right back in. Spicy Part 2, local Denver painter, artist, comedian, Renaissance woman, Katie Bowman. Thank you for coming back out. Thanks for coming back. We were talking last episode on part 1, basically about, you'd been doing a bunch of screen making, you went to school, graduated school, gotten into painting. We were talking about how now you're kind of using different tools to do your artwork. So,
Yes.
which I think is really, really cool, and I think something that a lot of people should do, because you look at it, I'm sure, differently when you have to make these things work.
Yeah, definitely. It's also cool to see, a lot of something that I've had a habit of doing is, if I make a painting and I don't really, over time, I'll just, start hating it. It's a horrible thing to say.
Paintings?
So then I'll, paint over it and reuse the canvas. But, but so with, having to use other materials, sometimes if you're, gluing them to the canvas and stuff, this is it. This is the last piece that you're going to have.
Or, you can't necessarily go on top of it. I
Yeah.
definitely, if there's a painting sitting there too long, I think it's just artist's eye, where it's just you probably see it too much and you've been thinking about it too much.
Totally. And I think your style just changes in general over the years. And so you look at it and you're kind of I don't know.
I feel like it probably should too. And there's different mediums as well that you can explore to keep it fun.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, and you kind of get out of a phase, and if nobody takes it or buys it, then you're well, enough people have one, so I'm gonna retire these. But it's funny because I literally have paintings that I painted over 4 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because you just couldn't look at them anymore?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel no, I'm the same way. There's there'll be one little piece of something on a painting where I look at it, I'm I can't look at anything else necessarily on it.
Yeah, totally.
Just gotta get it out.
Change it. Yeah. And so I don't know. And it's nice to be able to reuse something until it finally becomes something that you really like.
Yeah.
Or you can get rid of and then move on from it.
Definitely when you know that it's actually the right one.
Yeah.
I bet.
Because it builds up. This is so terrible, but I guess a lot of my artwork has been pretty temporary if someone doesn't grab it, because I will either store it away and not look at it for a long period of time, or I will just paint over it or throw I made this huge zebra human or no, giraffe human, sorry.
Nice.
And it was probably a few feet tall, and it was just ceramic, and it was really cool, but then I had nowhere to put it, and I was in college, so I was moving on leases every year, and I was this is an 80-pound sculpture, I don't know what to do with it, and so I just left it there. It was if anyone wants it, but I kind of had this part where I was I really want to sell this.
Yeah.
And then no one wanted it, or nobody asked me. If someone really asked me for it, I probably would have gave it to them.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I just didn't know, so I just let it be tossed into the school dumpster. And one of my classmates was dude, I saw your sculpture in the dumpster, and I was I would have taken that. I just saw it and was damn, because this dumpster is massive. And
everybody always says that they take the giraffe human until it comes down to it.
Yeah, but to me it's kind of funny. It's well, it's gonna be taken away. Someone might have used it later down the road.
Definitely. Where do you get?
Okay with that.
So you were in college getting your clay from them, and where do you get your materials now? Your canvases and stuff.
I grow them with my hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Actually, over the summer when I chopped all my hair off.
Yeah.
I was telling the lady how I was using that as paintbrushes, and she was do you want your hair? And I was sure, why not?
Yes.
So then it was funny because when I cut it all off, I was goodbye, old friend. And I just had the picture of the bag of hair, and my sister, who just had her wedding, was what did you do? You have to be in pictures. And I was
I did something big.
It looks good.
Yeah,
but,
right?
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. And you get a bag of hair to walk with.
Yeah, I know. So I had used all of that on multiple paintings and stuff. And sometimes I'll use it to glue on the canvas and stuff.
Nice.
So that's fun. And then I usually go find stuff at Goodwill's.
Nice.
I'll find stuff I'm a big into dumpster looking. I'm not
nice.
Unpacking the dumpster and packing it back in, but
I've gotten 3 canvases out of dumpsters just in Cap Hill.
People just leave them on the side. It's perfect.
A lot of people just leave them on the outside.
All-known rule to not just throw it in the dumpster.
No.
Same with wood. I find lots of found wood to paint on that lately.
Just glue it together.
Yeah, I also recently saw someone at the Source. My roommate works in the gallery
Nice,
there,
yeah.
and he was painting on literally like it looked like pieces of fences and stuff that were just like thrown away. And it
Nice.
was like, so I think they were oil paintings, but it looked
Cool.
so good.
I think it is one of those things. It adds like a dimension because a lot of canvas is just so static. I feel like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's cool to see like a picture on something that you're not used to seeing.
Yeah, and
I
it's
have a lot of stuff like that too.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing too, and especially I think you're right too. Like it is just so much cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like when you gotta go buy canvases as opposed to like if you can just glue a couple pieces of wood together, you're fine.
I feel like you dive into it more sometimes when you also are like, I'm gonna make something out of all these found objects and stuff.
Yeah.
Like with printmaking, it's like I said, like I recycle. I feel like that's like my theme throughout everything, and so with printmaking, like you print it, and that print's kind of done unless you want to take some proofs and like cut out designs from them, which is something else that I also do. I'll take like all the like proofs, which are like the not bad, but like off center, or they're like not the alignment's off or something, or they just didn't print that well, and I'll cut those into shapes and stuff and glue them down to paint with and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Other than that, like those are pretty set. Like you're not gonna go print over another print unless like you wanna just tear one up or something. And especially if you do like a series. Monoprints are a little like there's a lot more leeway with that, I think. But like printing a series of stuff, like I don't know, it takes so much time. There's just something
it is very time
religious about it.
Yeah.
Like you
it's
feel
very
like
zen.
Yeah, you feel like you're ruining it if you paint over it sometimes, which maybe I should just do because I've been doing it with all my other paintings.
Yeah.
So I should try it. But yeah, I really like to recycle stuff. It does make you like, I feel like, work harder on how you're going to like use it.
Oh yeah, I think it involves the brain a little bit more. You have to think about what you're going to do with it a little bit more. Be like, do I want to make this a painting? Do I want to print onto it or whatever? Because everything's different too.
Yeah. I like to make things that I want to hang in a house, but I haven't really figured out a way to document them. But I noticed everyone caught on to the like Goodwill canvases, like stealing canvases, not stealing, buying, but like everyone stole that idea, and like they're harder to find. At least,
or they're pricier now.
They're like a lot pricier because people know that people want those. So like I was going down like the like rows of items that they have at Goodwills and stuff, and seeing if there's something I can paint on that's just like an object there.
Okay.
But then I feel like I get attached to those objects.
Oh,
I'm turning
definitely.
into like one of those crazy ladies that just has like a painted lamp or something like
everywhere.
Nice.
But I mean, if you can transform it into something different, I think that's the real goal. Because even frames are a little bit pricey. Estate sales are really a sweet deal. If you can get an estate sale where nobody else wants any of the frames or anything. But that's the thing. Even trying to find a bunch of stuff in dumpsters, and I think it challenges you a little bit more, but it also makes you care about that piece of art more. And then
Oh, totally. I don't know why. I like spend money.
Because it's free.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like a gift from society that you can like really like turn into something cool. I actually have a painting I want to paint over in my car right now. And the canvas is like overstretched. It almost seems like someone was like painting really hard on it and stretched it out in certain areas.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, this is maybe trash, but I could also like take this off or like use that on something else. And so like,
tighten it
like
up.
that, like, or you just glue to that one, and it's not really like a portrait or anything like that.
I found like a fake leather couch the other day, and I X-Acto knifed a bunch of big squares out of it to see if it's
that's
like
funny.
to like
You're
wrap
just,
them on a canvas, looking like a giant creep.
No, but that's a really good idea.
It's like, why not? Yeah, or you can like print on it too, and then
totally.
And it just kind of looks vintage,
Yeah, that's really awesome. That's a good idea.
But you do look like a giant creep cutting up a couch.
I
But
hope you
even
don't
the
have bed bugs.
cushions, yeah, right.
Just kidding. I'd hope that you could see a bed bug on like a leather slice.
It's like, hey, get out of here. Get out of here. This is my couch.
You're like, maybe if I could just burn them off, it's still worth it.
I'm gonna bring them inside anyway because I can't pass this up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I feel like Denver is a good spot. I feel like, to be completely honest, people throw a lot of good stuff away up here.
Yeah.
Like
they do.
You can find
totally.
like a lot of good stuff a lot of the time.
When I was dog walking, that was like only a month ago actually. I'd find stuff all the time. There's so much stuff in my house from that I love.
Whenever I take him on walks, I always find stuff.
Yeah.
Or just like things that I wouldn't like necessarily want to say for art, but maybe just like put up on the street for free. You know,
like
just 'cause
walking
it's not as cool.
like in the alleys with your dog.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what are these weird little kids walking through
looking
the
in
alleys?
dumpsters, just checking out all the dumpster stuff. Because there's always a couple that I go to. There's one I've gotten like 2 canvases out of. It's like you just know the sweet spots.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's definitely like areas where I'm like, this is a spot where I see something every day. But my roommate also got me really into it because she finds like a lot of, this is gonna sound gross, but she finds like things that are like expired like the day of or they're about to expire.
And she eats them.
And yeah. But like some of
No.
them aren't she gave me this article that was like basically saying that like expiration dates are like FDA approved, so like they're
Yeah,
not
kind
always
of bullshit.
yeah, like sometimes you can get away with it. I mean, we've definitely had some
I
stuff where I'm
know.
like, it's a little questionable, but
Yeah, I'm just like, who? Does she go to like grocery stores and do that?
no, honestly, I think she just has like good sense to check everywhere she goes or something, because she'll be like, oh, I was at work and I found a salad in the trash can that was like not expired. It was like a store bought salad that like was just thrown away because someone probably wasn't going to eat it. I've definitely bought food at a grocery store. I've been like, I don't want this. I'm going to go get to a restaurant now. Like, throw it away. We also will like throw stuff away in the house, and then she'll be like, dude, someone threw away this binder. Like, I'm going to keep it.
This is, guess who just scored a sweet new binder today?
It's like kind of hilarious.
Listen,
it's like a sweet little attribute of her.
Yeah. She's got the 5-star binder, just rocking it out at the high school.
Totally. She found this bathtub.
Saving cash.
She found a bathtub that was like
Now she lives in it?
That's where she lives. We're both cancers, so we both live in the bathtub. No, I'm just kidding.
Something like kind of quirky about us.
Yeah. We're crabs. No. But she turned it into like a garden or like a massive flower pot.
Yeah.
And, like, it's pretty cool. Like, it's
That's
a
awesome.
bathtub. And,
Yeah.
like, she grows berries in there in the summertime.
So she just, she's just crafty.
Yeah. And it's cool. Like, it's her own way of being like creative in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have, or not have, or I mean, yeah, should have to have something creative, but I think especially, like, since you got the comedy, the art, and everything, I think for me at least, I think they all, like, complement each other.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
it's all just a good outlet for the weird stuff that's in the brain.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Do you find that you, like, create better in the morning as opposed to, like, night, or do you have, like, a specific time?
Okay, it's really weird. For comedy things, like, I work really well under pressure. Like,
Nice.
I'll take off
That's
time,
awesome.
like, to write, and I'll come up with a couple things.
Yeah.
And then when I'm, like, on the way to an open mic, all of a sudden I'll have, like,
Game
5
time.
new jokes or something.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. And I was talking to my one of my teammates on an improv team, and he was like, oh, well, you have ADHD, right? And I was like, yeah. And he said that, he's like, well, you guys are known for like working much better under pressure because you have no choice, so you focus. He was like, if we all shot a bunch of guns at you, you could probably like come up with some funny shit.
Crushing it.
And so
Headline
I was like,
set.
now I have like 5 guns. No,
Yeah. You guys can come over to my house every Tuesday before this open mic and shoot at me.
Yeah, but so it's true though. Like, I work really well under pressure, and even with painting, I think it's the same thing. Like, I will literally like be like, okay, I'm gonna paint tonight, and I'll kind of dabble on the internet and like research things that I feel like I'm getting into, or like look at stuff, and then I'll just like kind of shoot the shit with my roommates for a while, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I have what I'm gonna make, and it's just like this weird energy that like once it hits you, you have to just like put it down on something. Yeah, and then so usually in the morning I'm really good with like writing ideas down.
Of course.
And then at night, though, I will usually, like, the middle of the day, I usually like to do other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I work into the night usually.
Nice. I find a lot of people work better at night.
It's just quiet, and, like, it's not like you're going to be interrupted by people during the day, I think.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I live with, like, roommates, so I think that might be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of developed that habit. But I feel like that would be, like, if you're living with anyone.
Oh, absolutely. So you just, when you paint the painting all the way through normally?
Yeah.
One?
Dude, it's so weird. Like, everything that I make, a lot of the time, I finish within the same day, or, like, I'll go back and add something, like, so much later. Like, rarely does it take me, like, more days. Like, I can, like, or I'll finish, like, a layer that I'm, like, I know is, like, I'm not going to go back and work on it, and then add something the next day.
How many paintings do you normally produce, like, monthly, do you think?
That like varies. I guess right now I'm in a range of like working on like anywhere from 2 to about like 6, and I'll do like 2 at a time or something like that. Or I'll just like, some of them though, it's weird. Like there'll be things that I work on for like months at a time, but I only go back to them once a month because it's like I really need a lot of time to like go away from it. Like I'm like, I like where it is, and I paint over things if like I overwork
to not know where it's going.
Yeah, and like I will definitely overwork something unless I know exactly where I want it to go.
Yeah.
Which is why I like to work in acrylics because like they dry fast.
Mm-hmm.
I love oil paint, and it's a fun thing to do, but I really do like being able to like finish something really quickly.
Yeah,
and
I
not
think
have to like edit myself constantly.
Mm-hmm. So your dream, if you could have best case scenario, 5 years from now with your art and comedy and all that, what would your life be like?
Honestly, I would love to have some sort of live show or just like even a web series or something right now that includes all of it. Like I can somehow make artwork that can be animated, comedy, all of it. Because I feel like a lot of my stuff is kind of me. I have like my artwork's more of this like playful style, but it's all kind of has this like I just like interlude everything into it.
Yeah, even with some of your more like abstract stuff, I still find it's literal. It's like kind of to me, you know. Yeah, just like relatable. Yeah, but I like that too because that's kind of exactly how I am with a lot of my comedy and art as well. You can't just like exclude a huge amount of people. You have to be some sort of relatability with it.
And it's funny because that artwork, I see how it does kind of like put up a wall sometimes, and I love it. But I love that it does put up a wall, like, but it takes a certain person to get it. Like I'll go to some museums and like I'll see what my parents or friends will like walk towards more.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see like interactive artwork and stuff. I love that stuff. Like I love interactive theater so much. Of
course.
I went to this play that like Sam Provenzo put on and like a few other people that are in the improv scene and like, they're also in the theater scene, and then a couple of people that we know were in it, and it was like a like dystopia interactive theater thing, and I was like really into it. Like that was like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's so cool.
So it'd be cool to do something like that and like paint everything like create the entire set and everything.
Yeah. I
would like to add like everything into one like thing.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah,
I've never heard that anybody even talk about anything really like that.
Yeah, I have that new show that I'm putting
talent show type thing.
Yeah, and I like really wanted to bring like my community of art people that like I like knew throughout college into it, and then also people I know, because there's a lot of creativity in Denver.
Definitely let everybody know where that's going down.
Oh yeah, it's at Deer Pile every third Tuesday of the month at 9 p.m.
Nice.
And it's free.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called You Do What.
Nice. Yeah.
It's weird because I can't like exploit the secret talent until the night
of. Yeah.
But it's okay because like they can tell their friends secretly to go.
Of course.
And it'll be cool. And then people will like. I'm hoping it's like the opposite reaction where like that person that performs their talent is like going to be able to like pass out cards or anything and promote themselves.
That too, and also just like, you know, do something different. I think that I just like to see shows that aren't just like a stand-up showcase, and I think like especially people that do art and stuff, just trying to create new forms that people like want to go see this show and like have to come see it because it's something cool and different. You see sides of people that you didn't know that were there before.
Yeah, and it's like it's cool to see people react with each other. Like I really am interested to like combining communities. I don't like the idea of everything.
I mean, I've had like people I've worked with. Like I used to work with this dishwasher, and he was like a brilliant illustrator, you know. But like we never talked about that, and then one day we did, and like now.
It's just like it's awesome to see people transfer over from like each community, and everyone knows each other. I feel like more awesome stuff comes out of that kind of interaction than like keeping everything separate. In collaboration, I think Denver, you see it a lot in the comedy scene too, but we're a very collaborative city, not really like scared of anybody, you know, trying to steal it. Like it's just we just want to work together because everything is. I think it's better if we have collaboration. Much like this podcast, huh? Oh wow!
I want to thank you so much for coming out. These things go fast. Before we get out of here, give any other plugs that you want to talk about for all your stuff, your artwork and shows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at Voodoo on Wednesday for Scoundrel, and there's also other improv teams. And then I have a really cool improv team called Improv Avengers, and they're at 9 p.m. on Thursday nights. And right now we're doing like a comic strip. You make a comic strip, and it's like it could be anything, like superheroes, dramas, like all that stuff. And that's a really cool form that we're working on right now.
Nice.
And then I do stand up whenever I get booked. So that's where I'm at with that.
We'll get you out on the agency
I'm
show
on Twitter, and so,
very soon. Thank you so much for coming over to do this little
thanks for having
mess.
me.
Appreciate it. The pleasure is all mine. Guys, we want to thank you all for listening out there. You can find us on Twitter at Words with Wayman, Facebook Words with Wayman. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you all soon.